What's going on, folks? Welcome back to the Lawn Shark channel. So today is a bit of a sad day, and since we started renovating this yard, both in the front and the back, I have constantly reminded everybody that this was an experiment, and this was something that we were going to try, and we were going to try and see if we can get the cool season grasses to actually work here in the transition zone of Nashville. And I have actually had pretty good success throughout the season right up until about a month ago. At about a month mark, when I was in Utah on vacation, the temperatures got really, balmy here. And it got into the hundreds, and it stayed consistently in the upper 90s. It has continued to do so. And with that, I had every intention of actually doing a mini type of renovation, especially in the front, where I figured that I had the bluegrass, it was growing, and because I had seen the Lawn Tools lawn where they had done a bluegrass and a Bermuda mix and were doing a blue muta, I thought, hey, it's a great idea for me to try that here in the lawn. So when I got home, I went out and I bought a bunch of GCI's Alpha Elite Bermuda blend, and the intention was to actually plant it here. And I actually went through the whole process. We did a little bit of leveling. We took the opportunity to do that. And unfortunately, what ended up happening was things escalated pretty quickly here, and it continued to get really hot. Along with those temperatures, we had a little bit of a different problem happen in the front lawn, and let me show you what that looks like. So as you can see, not only is it unhealthy here, but all of these runners, and I can give you a nice little close-up, all of these runners are the dreaded common Bermuda. And as we all know, common Bermuda, pretty invasive to the lawn, and there's no way for me to really get rid of it without killing the rest of the lawn. Now, there is a way for us to actually do a little bit of suppression of it, but because I put down that Bermuda blend, it would actually cause a problem for that as well, which is to put down some tenacity, which Bermuda doesn't like, and it would suppress a lot of this. It probably wouldn't kill it, but it would suppress it. So that was kind of the thought, is that we would go through the process of putting that down, but then of course my brand new Bermuda seed would have issues. So I am going to go ahead and say this, and I don't mean to be, I'm not saying this to be dramatic. The reality of it is that I have lost sleep over the last several nights in many ways. I'll wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and realize that, holy crap, what am I going to do about this lawn? It just looks terrible, and I don't really know what to do. And the good thing is that I figured out that the bluegrass actually works pretty well for 3 seasons. It's just not going to do well on the 4th season, which is summer. The perennial ryegrass crapped out over a month ago, and I'll show you what that looks like here in a little bit. But that's not going to work either. I can't do anything about the backyard right now because of the fact that nothing's going to get planted back there. I did put down some Bermuda just to see if it would take and if it would just at least give me some ground coverage, and it's done an okay job, but it really just hasn't done well back there. I just have a lot of shade, and it's really soggy back there, so we've had some issues back there. So I'm just going to kind of give up on the backyard for now, but I can deal with the front. So the decision was made this morning early on when I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning and thought, what am I going to do with my lawn? And what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to start over, and we're going to do a summer project, and that project is going to be to rip all of this out, and the plan is to put down some Tiff Tuff Bermuda. I found a sod farm that actually can give it to me anytime I want, but before I do that, I do want to knock all this down, and I do want to level this out. So first thing I'm going to have to do is kill off what I have, because the truth is I want the common Bermuda gone. And in order to get rid of the common Bermuda, I'm going to have to kill the Kentucky bluegrass, and then we can put down some sod. Now, the common Bermuda will probably come back over time, probably next summer. We'll probably have the same issue, but at that point, I'll be mowing the whole thing so low, hopefully, that it will help suppress it, and I'll be able to see it a lot better, and then we'll be able to deal with it in a different way. And then, of course, once we get the Bermuda sod put in, then we have to think about, well, what are we going to do for the winter grass? Because I don't want brown. My wife doesn't want brown grass like we had at our other house. I don't mind it, but she doesn't love it. Well, we can actually think about doing either a Kentucky bluegrass or a perennial ryegrass or a combination of both to actually ride out the cold months when the Bermuda is brown. But we're getting way ahead of ourselves. That is something that we'll have to solidify in the fall. For now, I need to get green grass. And some of you may think, well, what's the hurry? You know what I mean? It's sort of green right now. I mean, you can kind of see behind me, it's kind of sort of green. It doesn't look terrible. It doesn't look great, but it's not terrible. And we can deal with some of this stuff during the fall. But I have a little bit of a catch, and that is that my oldest daughter gets married in September. And as part of her marriage, they want to do a rehearsal dinner here at my house. Well, of course, I'm not going to have dead grass for the rehearsal dinner. I can keep people away from the back, but there's no way to hide the front. So I've got to do something. And I'll be honest with you guys, and I talked to the lawn tools about this. I really miss the Bermuda. I love it. It's something that I really can get behind, and it's something that I really enjoy having. And I can deal with what I need to do during the winter months. And for now, I just need to get something that's going to be green and manageable, and that's going to thrive here in the Nashville area during the summer months when it's hot and it's not raining and, you know, we're having to deal with stuff. So that's the plan. So the first thing we're going to do, and we're going to do it tonight, is I'm going to get me some glyphosate, and we are going to spread it out on this entire front lawn, and we're going to kill the thing. And in a couple weeks, glyphosate will stay in the lawn for about 2 weeks, and so I've got time to do that. I've already talked to the sod farm that's going to be providing the sod, that they'll be able to come out in a couple weeks and deliver it. That'll give the glyphosate plenty of time to do its thing and then to get out of the soil so it doesn't affect the new sod. But in fact, I'll get a little bit more than 2 weeks out of it, which will be perfect timing. So let's get to it. Let's kill a lawn. Second time in less than 12 months that I'm doing this. And hey, like I said, it was an experiment. We always said it was going to be an experiment. It's painful. It sucks. But such is life. Let's just move on. Nothing earth-shattering here, folks. We've used glyphosate before when we renovated the lawn in the fall. All we're doing here is taking about 6 ounces of glyphosate and we're mixing it with a gallon of water for every 1,000 square feet of lawn. Since I have 2,000 square feet, this was 2 gallons and it was perfect amount for us to cover the entire lawn. I also used a blue dye because this is very helpful in knowing exactly where I'm spraying. It helps me to figure out if I'm getting good coverage on everything. Oh, one more thing to keep in mind, and I know I'm going to get some comments in here because everybody talks about how evil glyphosate is and how harmful it is, and I don't disagree with you. It is a toxic chemical. It kills everything, but I don't do this all the time. I'm not a landscaper. I'm a homeowner. This is the second time I've done it this year, and before that, it had been years since I had used glyphosate. So it's not one of those things that I'm super worried about. Obviously, I wore gloves. If you could see in the video, I wore boots. I want to keep this stuff off of me as much as possible. It is toxic, like I said, but use precaution and then don't use it when it's windy. Today is actually just a very slight breeze, so I'm not super worried about it. I know I'm going to get comments and talk about how dangerous it is and how people can't believe that I get it. Well, all right, folks. Well, we are done. We got it pretty much covered. I hope you can see this, but you really can't see it. It's starting to get dark, but the nice thing about that blue dye is that you can tell what you've hit and what you haven't hit. And I think I got pretty much a good coverage of glyphosate in the lawn. Now, this is going to take probably a couple weeks for it to kill off. It'll start killing it off immediately, really, within 12 hours. But for it to be completely dead and for us to have the soil to a point where we can actually start putting something alive down on it, we need to give it a couple weeks. You don't want to put this stuff down when it's about to rain, which it isn't, for several reasons. Number one, you want it to be on the leaves for as long as possible because that's where it's going to kill the grass, which is through the leaf absorption. But the other thing too is you don't want this stuff running off in the places where you don't want it to run off to. So my yard is upslope from the rest of the neighborhood, and if it rains, I don't want it going into somebody else's yard. So we're actually in the clear for the next several days. It's going to be really hot. As you can tell, it's 8:30 at night and I am sweating to death because the humidity is so unbearable. I will give you guys a quick embarrassing look at the back, and I shouldn't be embarrassed. We knew that this was going to happen, or there was a good possibility that it was going to happen. Man, the cicadas are so freaking loud tonight. But we knew it was gonna happen, but it's still painful to look at. And like I said, we'll deal with the backyard later on in the fall when we can actually seed or get some fescue on here, but we're not gonna do it right now. So I warned you all. All right, here you go. Yeah, it's that bad. And I did put down a little bit of Bermuda, and you can see it actually grew into all the pea spots, which is a miracle. But everywhere else is just dead, and we're just gonna leave it alone. All right, folks, well, that's pretty much it. I mean, we've done everything that we can do to this lawn. Unfortunately, it has nothing to do with the seed that I put down from GCI. It's actually starting to grow, and I actually think that it would be fine if it wasn't for all that common Bermuda. I just don't have the time to deal with it, and it's so invasive, and it is spreading so quickly with this heat and with the little bit of rain that we're getting, that I have to keep watering it, which actually only helps the common Bermuda. So the best thing for us to do is just kill everything and start over with a really good quality sod. Found a great sod farm, and we'll start that project here in about 2 weeks. And until then, we may do some other things. I've got some maintenance I've got to do on my row mower, so maybe I'll do some of that for the next video while we're waiting for this. And then we'll get to, back-breaking work of laying out 2,000 square feet of sod. So, hope you guys enjoyed watching me kill my lawn yet again. If you like this video, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and if you want to be notified of future videos, don't forget to hit that bell, and we will see you sometime soon. Have a great one.
1 week later.
We are nice and crispy. Now we just gotta wait another week and a half or so for us to get the sod, and that way we can make sure the glyphosate is all gone. Stay tuned.